Hey guys, Unfair here. Welcome back to another episode of Cutting Room Floor. Alright, so life is going to get a little bit harder for us now. We're actually going to install a couple augmentations here, since we have enough points now. We want the Icarus landing system. And that negates any fall damage. And then I'm also going to grab capture number 5. That way we can get into any terminal we want.
If you would like to hear more of my exclusive interview. It doesn't happen often, folks, but it appears that I may have to return. Millionaire Hugh Darrow has contacted me personally to deny allegations of involvement.
And we're going to need a little more inventory space here, so I'm going to upgrade that. These guys have nice big rifles, and we want one of those.
I may have to retract an earlier statement. Millionaire Hugh Darrow has contacted me to deny allegations of involvement in secret United Nations meetings about the augmentation.
The nice thing is that it only takes one energy bar to take down each of these guys. It's probably the most efficient use of your takedown ability in the entire game.
Put my attention.
They're heavily armored, so they soak up bullets like crazy.
Our best chance at doing this.
And obviously these chain guns are not pleasant to be hit by either.
Ion seeding and geothermal management.
Alright, we just have the commander left now. I think he's the guy we saw arguing with Tong earlier.
As soon as the installation.
Guard's supposed to be here.
Log on to www.
You're dead. Don't make me.
Reporting.
Come out.
Now, we've got all our new heavy rifle stuff.
It doesn't happen often, folks, but it appears that I may have to return. Millionaire Hugh Darrow has contacted me personally to deny allegations of involvement in secret United
We
Nations.
just need to make a dash for the basement. That's our only way out.
Here's what the man had to say.
My visit was related exclusively to the project which has consumed all of my.
And yes, there are a bunch of guys down here as well. We should be able to take them out with our nice shiny new rifle though. This thing does take a little while to spin up though, so you have to kind of predict when you're going to need to use it. That guy with the shotgun really hurts. I don't know why exactly. Turn on walk here. There's a bunch of mines that we have to avoid. On the upside, 3 mines. I guess there was only 1 mine in that section. There should be more later then. Now, if we had the bioenergy, we could actually punch through this when one of the guys was right in front of it. I'm just gonna wait a second for this fraction to recharge. Our power bars are actually the most important thing in the game, second to the Praxis kits. Just doesn't seem like there are that many of them scattered around. Oh yeah, there's one more heavy rifle guy before we're safe.
Just get on the truck. You see anyone? Shoot.
From the sound of the gunfire, it sounds like the normal one is still alive. Didn't really expect that. That was kind of weird. I don't know how I took out the heavy rifle guy, but the normal guy survived. Clearly this heavy rifle ammo takes a lot of space.
Malik, get Pritchard on the line. Tell him I need everything he's got on the Tai Young Medical Building. Schematics, blueprints, everything.
That might take a while, Jensen.
Yeah, well, he's got as long as it takes for me to find this Tai Young shuttle Van Bruggen talked about and ride it to their factory. Jensen out.
And we are actually not going directly to Tai Young Medical. We have to finish up a couple of these side quests first.
Excuse me, do you know where the limb clinic is?
Yes, huh?
Just double checking real quick.
Trouble, Eliza.
I guess it's later on in the game. These soldiers in front of the limb clinic get a little bit aggressive.
Really get to Tai Young
Our
Medical
best chance
from
at doing this is to
Sure,
modify
gorgeous.
Ocean
You
Tower.
have to take a train.
The Tai Young Medical entrance is actually right there.
The building without an access card.
Forgive.
So let's get our Praxis kits first.
LIM International welcomes you. You are preferred client? Select what you want from computer. You're very welcome, sir.
And now we talk to the hacker.
Can't you see I'm busy? Go bother someone else.
Something, death and taxes, Confucius.
What? Wait, that's not it at all. That's not even close.
Does it matter?
Of course it matters. Otherwise, how am I supposed to know your... You were supposed to say, death and life have their determined appointments. Then I say, riches and honors depend upon heaven.
Okay. Death and life have their determined appointments.
Riches and... Oh, never mind. You ruined the whole thing. Just meet me outside the clinic. It's safer for us to talk out there. Turn left from the front and go down the stairs. I'll be waiting at the corner.
I like how he gets so agitated about it. And he's down this way.
It doesn't happen often, folks, but it appears that I...
Over here! Come on now! That was hardly what I would call a smooth interaction. I could get into serious trouble for this, you know.
Sorry, I'm new to this spy game stuff.
Right. Well, you're not exactly what I was expecting. I was told I would be meeting a girl. How do I know you're not an imposter or some sort of double agent? Don't think I don't know this could all just be an elaborate trap to set me up.
Look, no offense, Mr. X, or whatever your name is, but I really don't have time for this. So if you could simply just give me what I came for, I'll be on my way.
Yes, yes. I have it right here. Evelyn Carmichael's autopsy report. Here, take it.
Thank you.
I trust you will put this information to good use, because accountability and justice is at an all-time low, I'm afraid. It pains me to see this once great city, which stood as a bastion for reform and progress against our oppressive communist origins, succumb to the trappings of corporate bureaucracy and petty corruption. Corruption so often typical of your Western governments.
Whatever you say. Now, if you don't mind, I really must be going.
Well, there is still the matter of my payment. 1,000 credits was the agreed-upon price, I believe. Isn't that right?
A little piece of advice. When attempting to extort money from someone, don't give them what they want before trying to rip them off.
What? What? You mean you aren't going to pay? But I risked everything to get you that file.
Chalk it up to a learning experience and move on.
You scoundrel! You'll regret this someday. You just mock my words.
See you later, X.
What are you gonna do? Hack my Facebook profile? So we actually don't get any new objectives until after we look at the autopsy report.
Malik, I just got the autopsy report. No drugs or alcohol in Evelyn's system. And her estimated time of death doesn't fit Lee's story. She did die from a head wound, but not one that matches the evidence found at the scene.
I knew it. It couldn't have been just an accident.
There's more. Evelyn was pregnant. Malik?
I'm here. We can't let him get away with this, Jensen. He's guilty. He has to be. Can you go to his apartment?
And do what?
Get proof. Get something. I'm sending you the coordinates. Contact me again when you're there.
And back in the Yuzhou district, let's check where we need to go now. This is one of the few places that's really hard to locate without the map.
Does anyone here understand?
It's located right by one of the city district transitions. Nope, not that one. I think we need to be up a bit higher. It was on one of the top levels of the map. Ah, finally. The whole plot for this guy is pretty boring and standard, but the payoff at the end is definitely worth it.
Access granted.
So now we just have to wander around here and look for a whole bunch of different evidence. It kind of lights up sequentially.
Malik, I'm inside Lee's apartment. Doesn't look like anyone's home.
Damn. Okay, look. Lee isn't smart enough to properly cover his tracks, so look around. Maybe you can find something suspicious.
Malik, I think I got a probable murder weapon. A broken clock. The kicker is the hands line up roughly with Evelyn's TOD. Coincidence?
That's a hell of a stretch. You really think?
If Lee's as dumb as you say, maybe. We'd need lab tech analysis to confirm, but if there ever was a smoking gun, it fits. I'll keep looking. I'm sure there's more here.
Hey, Lee, baby. Can't wait to see you tonight. But I'm stuck at work. I know, I'm sorry. I'll make it up to you, baby. I promise. I'll meet you at the Hive, okay? Just don't get a party started without me. I want you all to myself tonight.
The Hive? I should have guessed Lee would be there. It's pretty much a second home for him.
Wait a minute, you heard that?
Sorry, Jensen. I don't like invading your privacy like this, but it's important. Plus, this gives me an idea. When you're done looking around Lee's apartment, head to the Hive. Contact me when you're there.
I'll stick around a bit. I'm sure there's still more to find.
His username is MasterPlayer69. Yeah, you can tell he's a classy guy. This one's gonna be a tough hack.
Access granted.
So his family has Taiyang medical and limb stock, apparently. And his parents aren't happy with his sleeping around.
Malik. It looks like Hong Sr. was upset with Hong Jr.'s behavior and threatened to cut off his inheritance if he didn't stop whoring around. Sounds like he considered Evelyn beneath the family name.
And if he knew she was pregnant, I can't believe Lee would do something like that just for money.
Speaking of money, the Hong family seems heavily invested in both Bell Tower and Lim. That could explain the cover-up and lack of a proper investigation. I'll make one last sweep to make sure I got everything. Malik, I found a baseball bat, but it looks clean. Almost like it's been washed recently.
Maybe Lee washed Evelyn's blood off of it.
That's what I'm thinking. But I'm not sure it could inflict the type of laceration she had. Okay, I think that's it. I'm heading to the Hive now. I doubt we'll find anything else in here without calling in a forensics team.
Sounds good.
Alright, now back to the Hive. I love that ability. This should finish up both the side quests that we have, and then we should be able to go straight on to Taiyang Medical.
Malik, I'm in the Hive. What's your plan?
Find Lee and talk to him. I want you to convince him you know exactly what he did to Evelyn and why. If you can make him panic, I'm willing to bet he'll spill his guts. Just make it look like blackmail. If he's willing to pay to keep you quiet, he's basically tying his own noose. I'll listen in and record everything.
Got it.
And we do want to do this one before we do the bartender, because the bartender's going to get us in trouble.
What you want, Chrome Boy?
Is your name Lee Hong?
Yeah, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. What's it to you?
I want to talk to you about Evelyn Carmichael.
Man, it's off! I already told all you narcos all there is to say.
Relax. I'm not with the police. I work private. And you could say I specialize in cases like yours.
If you ain't police, then what the fuck you want?
A simple proposition. I have proof that shows you murdered Evelyn. And I want you to pay me 2.5 million credits to make that proof disappear.
2.5? Bullshit. You ain't got shit on me, narco. I ain't paying you shit.
I strongly suggest you reconsider.
And I strongly suggest you get the fuck out of my face. Cause unless you got your proof right here, I ain't got shit to say to you.
All right. Let's start with the police report. I know your story doesn't match up with the evidence at the scene of Evelyn's fall.
Oh yeah? And why's that?
This part is just a memory game.
Because the police report itself was falsified. Why else would that be, if not to cover up a weak alibi?
Man, you gotta be kidding me. That's some weak-ass shit right there.
Not only does the evidence not add up, but neither does your testimony. You lied about why Evelyn fell down the stairs in the first place. You said you'd both been drinking heavily prior to the accident, and the reason Evelyn fell was because she was drunk. We both know that isn't true.
Man, that shit was in the papers.
Now, if the evidence doesn't fit, and your story was a lie, then how did Evelyn die on that night? Well, the answer is pretty simple, really. You killed her. But how? By hitting her in the head with that antique clock you keep so prominently displayed in your apartment. The lacerations on her head, the intracranial hemorrhaging, it's the perfect match.
In my apartment? How the fuck do you know what's in my apartment?
And like any good crime of passion, you needed motivation, something to fuel your violent outbursts. What did Evelyn say or do to make you murder her? She told you she was pregnant, and you panicked. Faced with the prospect of losing your easy way of life, you struck out at her in anger.
How? That's impossible.
But now the final piece of the puzzle. Why was Evelyn's death never considered a murder investigation? Because your family, one of the wealthiest and most influential families in Shanghai, covered it up. But whose silence did they buy?
And Bell Tower didn't actually have anything to do with this one.
Lim. Your family's sizable investments in Lim assured the autopsy performed on Evelyn's body would never see the light of day, and her death would simply fall through the cracks of an already crumbling justice system.
Fuck this shit, man! And fuck you!
I can help you, Lee. But only for a price.
Alright, fuck! I can't believe this shit! I'll pay you, man! I'll pay you, just... What do you need from me?
Details. Let me hear your side of the story, and then we'll move on from there.
I don't know. Evelyn, that stupid bitch! She was going to ruin me. I didn't mean to kill her, okay? Evelyn wouldn't shut up about us, about the baby, so I hit her. I just wanted to make her shut her stupid mouth. But the dumb bitch started freaking out. So I hit her again until she finally stopped screaming. When I realized what I'd done, I panicked. She was barely breathing, so I carried her to the stairs near my apartment and dropped her. I had to make sure it looked like an accident. I had no choice. She trapped me. She just wanted my money. I would have been ruined.
I need to go. We'll be in contact again soon.
Huh? What about the evidence? And the money? Where the fuck you going?
Goodbye, Lee.
Yeah, that's a pretty sweet gold vest. I'm sure she wanted some of that.
Malik, please tell me you got a recording of all that.
Oh my God, Jensen, I could kiss you right now. I can't believe you got him to confess so openly like that.
To be honest, it was easier than I was expecting. You were definitely right about Lee. He's not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed.
Well, don't get too cocky just yet. Before I send our little friend's confession off to the local media and authorities, I want to get some Shanghai street justice first. There's a control panel linked to the hive I need you to hack. Uploading the coordinates now.
And this one's kind of tough. Let's see if we have 3 praxis points. And I'm actually going to use some of those for... Not fortify, there's hacking stealth. This is the one I want. Decreases by 15, and this one decreases by 30. Those are pretty useful. If we hadn't bought the stealth ability, this would be pretty hard to do without a bunch of stops or nukes.
Access granted.
All right, Malik. It's hacked.
Verifying the signal. Come on, come on. Okay, I'm in. Remote frequencies are clear, thank God. Uploading now. And done. Meet me in front of the hive, Jensen. I have a little surprise for our friend Lee.
Now, we need to talk to the bartender. This is going to be a little bit dicey getting out of here afterward, though.
What can I get you?
Hey, about that job?
You found Jaya yet? You need to get back the money she owes us.
Here's Jaya's augment. I guess this means your investment has been returned.
What are you talking about? Where's the money she owed us?
There is no money.
This was not our deal.
Maybe not. But think of it this way. Jaya was becoming a problem. I helped you get rid of that problem.
This wasn't helpful at all, Guaylo. You've caused me more trouble than anything else. You can forget about our deal.
What can I get you?
And as you can see, he doesn't have any options if we talk to him again.
Give me a sec.
Yeah. Not like I'm busy.
We'll have a candy bar here. We're gonna want more of those in just a sec.
Hey, I heard a noise.
And if we grab his body and drag it back here, hopefully they won't see it. And in case you didn't catch it in all the action, I grabbed a Praxis kit off his body.
Something moved over. You're a dead man! It's on top! You can't run!
Those 3 guys at the door are really deadly. So we should have 2 now. Yep. And I'm going to use it to install the Typhoon. It's a pretty useful augmentation. It's especially great for the later boss battles. Or anytime there's really a lot of guys around.
Jensen.
Malik?
Well, first take this. I was gonna use it myself, but after everything you've done, I think you deserve it more.
So what are you gonna do now?
I have a few loose ends to tie up, and I need to make sure this autopsy report finds its way into the right hands. The Hongs aren't gonna buy their way out of this one.
Lee's confession is solid. With that and the evidence from the autopsy, there's no way he can avoid prosecution. Justice will be served.
Oh, justice will be served, all right. You might want to stick around for a second. I've got one last little surprise for our friend Lee. Are you facing the hive? It's almost showtime. In 3, 2...
Malik.
Just watch.
I don't know. Evelyn, that stupid bitch! She was going to ruin me. I didn't mean to kill her, okay?
Malik, remind me never to piss you off.
After everything you've done here for Evelyn, for me, you'd have to try pretty hard, mister.
The bitch started freaking out. So I hit her again until she finally stopped screaming.
And now we can go straight back to Taiyang Medical. Now, if we had gone in the tram before we finished the side quest, we would have lost them all. There's certain points in the game where you just can't go back, and it's nice that it does warn you at that point. I think this is the first time we actually see that in this game. Although it might have done it in Detroit, I can't remember.